Everything used to be made in China. Now companies are shifting to Vietnam. Is it cheaper labor, politics, or something bigger? Today we break down what's changing and whether Vietnam is ready to take China's place. Let me first give you a quick backstory on how the China Plus One strategy made Vietnam a top contender. For years, China wasn't just a manufacturing hub, it was the factory of the world. From clothing to electronics, if it was mass-produced, chances are it came from China. But over time, cracks began to show. Labor costs rose, environmental regulations tightened, and the US-China trade war shook global supply chains. Western companies realized that relying solely on China was a risky bet. This sparked a strategy economists call China Plus One. Keep operations in China, but invest in a secondary location to reduce risk and increase flexibility. That's where Vietnam came in. Just across the border, Vietnam offered the perfect blend. Low wages, a skilled workforce, favorable trade deals, and access to global shipping lanes. It wasn't just convenient, it was smart. What started as a backup plan quickly turned Vietnam into a rising star on the global manufacturing stage. Now let's take a closer look at the one thing Vietnam has that China can't compete with: location. Vietnam's geography makes it a logistics dream. From Hai Phong in the north to Ho Chi Minh City in the south, Vietnam's deep-water ports link factories directly to US and European markets. And the country's highway and rail investments, especially between industrial parks and ports, have made intermodal shipping faster and cheaper. In fact, Vietnam now ranks in the global top 30 for container throughput and climbing. But before Vietnam built smartphones, it was stitching sneakers. Here's how it leveled up. Vietnam's manufacturing boom began with shoes and shirts. Brands like Nike and Adidas moved operations here decades ago for low labor costs. But today, Samsung produces over half its smartphones in Vietnam. Foxconn, an Apple supplier, is building more facilities, and chip assembly is quietly on the rise. Vietnam has transformed from textiles to tech, and that shift didn't happen by accident. Up next, let me take you behind the scenes of the government plan that turned Vietnam into a magnet for global giants. Vietnam's government courted global firms with tax breaks, free trade deals, and regulatory reform. The country joined CPTPP, EVFTA, and boosted foreign direct investment zones. In short, they opened the gates, and the world came in. From 2020 to 2024, Vietnam approved hundreds of new factory projects, a signal to the world's supply chains. We're ready, but with every rise comes a risk. And Vietnam's biggest challenges? They're just getting started. But with rapid growth come growing pains. Can Vietnam scale its ports, power grid, and labor supply fast enough? Wages are rising, infrastructure is stretched, inflation looms. And while it's winning the plus-one game for now, it still lacks China's massive domestic market and industrial depth. And now you know why Vietnam isn't just China's backup anymore. It's a rising force in global manufacturing. But here's the question: can it scale fast enough before the next supply chain shock? Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story shaping the future of trade.